What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hello, my friends. I'm Michael Unbroken, host of the Think Unbroken podcast and founder of ThinkUnbroken.com. And I'm honored to be your trauma coach and mentor because I believe that everyone is capable of getting unstuck, cultivating self-love, and becoming the hero of their own story. I believe that when implemented correctly, the practical tools and education you will receive from this show will help you lead an unbroken and extraordinary life. I believe that no matter what we come from, that we all have the ability to choose ourselves first, to create and manifest a powerful and grace-filled future and love the reflection in the mirror. I believe that every day is a day to grow, learn, heal, and change. That's why I started my company, ThinkUnbroken.com, which is an online training and healing and personal growth platform where you get everything that I know about how to get motivated, be accountable, get out of the vortex, and become the hero of your own story through community, connection, and commitment. For more information, visit ThinkUnbroken.com. Please listen closely as you may learn just one thing that will help you be unbroken. And please share this episode with at least 3 of your friends because we all need community and connection in our healing journey. And be sure to DM me and tag me on Instagram at Michael Unbroken so that I can say hi. I just want to thank you again for being a part of this, for listening and being a member of the Unbroken Nation. Now, let's get into today's show and make the world unbroken.
No excuses, just results. If the truth offends you, it only means one thing: you're living a lie. Trent Shelton. Enough is enough. You have lied to yourself, cheated yourself out of greatness, and wasted the power of who you can be. You have allowed your potential to cease to exist. You have allowed the vortex to eat your spirit. You have chosen to negatively affect your family, relationships, community, and put your talent on a shelf. Aren't you tired of it? Aren't you tired of always letting yourself down? I replayed those words in my head for years. It was those words that echoed as I made the decision to take up the sword and battle for my life. I was so incredibly, vehemently, and overwhelmingly ashamed of the person that I had become as I stood in front of the mirror that day. The truth is, I was tired of my own bullshit. I had full choice in my actions, yet I blamed the world for my shortcomings. I chose every good and bad decision, action, and the motives behind the events that were happening. But I had not admitted that to myself. When I failed, I blamed everyone else but me. I was a prisoner in my own body and mind because I chose to be. I suffered so much torment at my own hands. There was no other person in control over my actions except me, but I didn't have ownership over my shit. There were some bright lights in my life. I had reliable friends, a solid business, and a partner that had my back. But what's good in having those things when I hated myself and was sabotaging my life at every turn? Since I was a child, I have lied, cheated, stolen, hurt people, did things to hurt myself, and worst of all, pretended that it didn't matter. I thought that my life was not important and that it was destined to live a fruitless existence, filled with anger and sadness. It took me a very long time to come to the realization that my actions were rooted in my past and that I was the sum total of all of my experiences. I was playing the predetermined role of victim. Nothing was ever my fault, and I made excuses for everything that happened. Admitting to myself that I was the one responsible for everything happening in my life was incredibly hard because for the first time, it meant that I had no one else to blame. That was scary because admitting fault meant that I had to take accountability for myself. Here is a list of my excuses. My parents turned me into a bad person. My girlfriend doesn't understand me. I don't get enough time off from work. I'm already 150 pounds overweight. It tastes better than salad. No one will believe me anyway. I don't care how I feel inside. I don't have the money. I can't quit smoking. I don't have the time. I'm too depressed. I'm too suicidal. I'm too anxious. I'm too sad. No one supports me. I've always been on my own. This is how I was raised. It's your fault. It's not my problem. I don't believe in myself. I'm scared. And my favorite? Nothing is wrong. Making excuses was easier than actually dealing with the truth that I was fucking my life up. After identifying the outdated excuses I used to protect myself, I had to make a decision to become brutally honest with myself and the people in my life. Excuses are lies, and I was a masterful liar. I could lie myself out of any situation, and I have found that being a liar carries certain perks, like vicious panic attacks, sleepless nights, trying to remember stories, hurting myself, and the people around me. Lying is a coping mechanism built in survival. We have to lie to protect ourselves, and in the most extreme cases, to save our lives. I used to have to lie to teachers, the police, and other adults because if the truth about my home life surfaced, the beatings I received intensified. You may have had to lie for similar reasons, and because that is your baseline, the behavior of making excuses has carried into your adult life. The difference is that as an adult, you likely do not need to lie to protect yourself, and instead of self-preservation, you are faced with self-destruction. When your excuses and lies become your truth, then you are faced with a moral quandary. Who am I? Who am I is the hardest question you will ever have to answer. The silver lining of understanding why I continue to lie as an adult forced me to reevaluate who I really am as a person. I made a declaration and promised to myself to stop lying. My values also began changing. My number one value used to be money. Now it is honesty. Being honest is the cornerstone value in my life, and it also is the fulcrum and measure for everything that I do. I don't care where you are from, how you were raised, how much money you have, who you don't know, where you've been, or where you are. There are no excuses for not living on your terms. Every single moment of your life, up until right now, is your foundation and your baseline. We can agree on that. However, blaming the circumstances of your life for being unhappy, unhealthy, and in the vortex is bullshit. Lying to yourself and making excuses will not help you become the person you want to be. Yes, I know that is hard to hear, but it's true. You can and should acknowledge your past to leverage it, but you cannot use it as an excuse anymore. In a very literal sense, I should be dead or in jail. I should not be writing this book, traveling the world, or being happy. I should have never made it out of high school, found success in corporate America and my own businesses, or dug myself out of the grasp of the vortex. I, like you, was set up to fail. 99 times out of 100, I don't make it out. But I don't need those other 99. I only need one. That is all you need too. You have one chance at life, and in a single choice, everything can be different. Even today, as I look at the community in which I was raised, I see never-ending chaos. In fact, in the last 3 years, 3 of my childhood best friends have been murdered, and over the years, countless others have died or are in prison. The environment I came from was hell for me and so many other children. I can't help but think that that environment gifted me with stubbornness and pride and never giving up even in the darkest times. I refuse to quit. That's my resiliency. Everything that is next in your life is a choice. You hold the power to manifest, act on, and create the exact life that you want. I don't know about you, but I don't want to die wondering what if. If you are not moving towards your health, then you are making excuses and lying to yourself. You owe it to yourself to leave nothing on the table. You owe it to yourself and no one else to get out of the vortex. So do it. It's not rocket science. Do you want to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and stable? You need to define these goals and move towards them. I've laid the steps out. Now you have to take the first step. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to move forward and find community. Give yourself permission to heal. Be excited about what's next for you and stop making excuses. This is how you take the first step. You decide to be healthy. To be honest, I don't believe that you can name a single valid reason for why you cannot have the life that you want. I don't believe there is a reason you cannot be happy, healthy, and live a sustainable life. If you truly believe that, if you truly believe that you have a valid reason that keeps you stuck, email me at michael@thinkunbroken.com. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to respond, and then I'm going to call you on your bullshit. There is not a single reason in the world that you cannot be whatever it is that you want to be in life. If you want to be a great mother, lover, friend, speaker, business person, writer, leader, coach, brother, and the best version of you, it is possible, and you can. It's that simple. Now, I'm not saying that moving towards those things is going to be easy, because they are not, but they are possible. I believe in you. Isn't it time that you did the same? Becoming unbroken. No excuses, just results. If you are going to change your life, step out of trauma, and into healing, then you are going to have to make a decision to stop making excuses. You are going to have to get real with yourself and identify all of the areas in your life that you are riddled with excuses. In this exercise, you're going to get very honest with yourself. What are your excuses? What is holding you back? Writing your excuses gives you a better understanding of the beliefs that keep you trapped, not only in the vortex, but prevent you from becoming the person that you want to be. Writing your excuses is not about judging or persecution. Writing your excuses is about acknowledging and creating a clear and concise understanding of the language and beliefs that are getting in your way. In this exercise, you're going to write every excuse that you can think of that is keeping you trapped in the vortex. This exercise, as you step into it, needs to be done with grace and courtesy and an understanding that this is not about shame. This is not about guilt. This is not about putting yourself down. Instead, it's about acknowledging the truth of the reality that part of your mindset is in your way. Those negative self-talks, those places of saying, I can't, those things are keeping you stuck right now. And look, you come by that honestly. I will never argue that. There is a part of us that exists in that narrative and on that plane because of the experiences that we've had leading up till this moment. And we understand that from a subconscious level, we have to reverse that. We have to reframe our understanding of who we are. And the only way to do that is to first understand where you are at. And this may seem very challenging, and it is meant to, because it is through this place of being uncomfortable that we grow. And in that growth, we create change. And in that change, ultimately, what happens is we become who we are. So take a moment, and with grace, and with honesty, and with truth, step into this, and then step through it, understanding that now everything is in your hands.
Hey, Unbroken Nation, a quick pause in today's episode to tell you about the brand new Think Unbroken app. That's right, I just released a brand new app in the App Store that you can take the first course in the Think Unbroken curriculum, the 5 Keys to Healing Trauma. It's a 7-day course for free. All you have to do is go into your App Store right now. You can pause this video and search Think Unbroken. That's on both Apple and Android. And you can take the Think Unbroken 5 Keys to Healing Trauma 7-day course for free. This is daily coaching from me. It's daily activities, daily check-ins. I built this course in this app specifically to bring huge value to you in your life, where you're at and what you're trying to do and going next and becoming the hero of your own story. So check out the App Store again, Apple and Android. Just simply search Think Unbroken and you will see the Think Unbroken app. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know
what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend.